Hi YouTube, it's good to see you all again, although I can't, but you know what I mean. It's nice to be back making another vlog. It's been a while and, well, I've just kind of been putting it off because I've had other things to do. But then I saw Tastic had uploaded a little video a couple of days ago saying, well, I fancied a chat so I uploaded a video. Well, I'm going to do the same because I've got a few things to talk about. And in fact, there's probably quite a lot, so I'm going to split this into two videos. The first part is just going to be things going on in the gaming community that I'd like to talk about. The second is some games that I've picked up, although I know I said I wasn't going to be doing much of that this year, but well, I'll explain more about that in the second part, and also what games I've been playing recently. That will feature in the second part. Now, if you'd like to know what I'm going to be talking about in this section, in the info pane down below, there are little timestamps little links you can click on that will take you to the bits that are of interest. If none of it looks interesting, just close down the video and wait for me to come up with something decent to watch. So, the first thing I'd like to talk about is something that seems to have been plaguing everybody. Well, maybe not everybody, but it feels like that. I've seen lots of videos mentioning an unsubscribe bug or unsub bug here on YouTube. And this is something that's affected me personally a couple of times that I know of. There may have been others. The problem is you don't know who you've been unsubscribed to until you realise their videos are not appearing on your YouTube homepage or in your subscription section anymore. And for me, that happened with Chris Matter Games. His channel just went missing. I thought he hadn't put anything up for a long time. No, YouTube had automatically unsubscribed me. And Steve Benway's channel as well. And of course, I always watch his Friday Talkie, so as soon as that well, actually not as soon as it disappeared, because this happened while he was having a little hiatus of a couple of weeks. And I thought, hang on a minute, where have his videos gone? He should have been back by now. And he was back, just not on my homepage. Oh well. But since then, I don't think I've lost anybody else, but it has affected me. What affected me more, and what really annoys me, is, and I know they've sorted this bug, but that was the one where it was reloading everything on the page. So you go down to the bottom of your list of things, you click more or load more, and it just loaded the same page up again. Thankfully, I think after a week they managed to fix that. But the other one that's really, really frustrating is, and I don't know if this happens on your browsers, it might be because I'm a Mac user, but I've tried Firefox, I've tried Opera, I've tried Safari, and every time I close down the browser and reload it again, when I go onto the YouTube homepage, and I log in and it comes up with a list of all of the great videos for me to watch, up in the top right corner where it says View, it always defaults to highlights. And so quite regularly I miss things that I can't understand why they're not in the highlight. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me because sometimes there are videos that are very popular, lots of views, popular channels, and for some unknown reason they're just missing from my list. So thank you YouTube. You're making it very difficult for me to see everything that I'd want to watch. Thanks to Steve Benway for posting in his video about advising using the subscription section on your YouTube homepage, on your, well, when you log into YouTube, the little box up in the right hand corner, which for me says Simon UK, but for you will say whatever else it is, it's your username, and under there using the subscriptions thing because that's so much more useful. But it only lets you go back a certain, I don't know, depending on how many people you're subscribed to, I guess, I think a few days. But what if you've been away from YouTube for a while and then you've got to click on every single one of your subscriptions? Frustrating and annoying. So it's not a perfect service. I could go on for hours talking about that, but I'm not, because this will just drag the video out, and I fear it's going to be fairly long as it is anyway. So on to the second thing, and that is a thank you. A thank you to a guy called Jake. And this, I know he did this ages ago and I should have mentioned this, but he did a video which was his, I think it was his top 5, or maybe it's top 10 best channels on YouTube. And no, I didn't appear in that. But A few days later, he did most underrated channels, and My Gamer's Living Room came in at number 4. So thank you very much, Jake, DemonOfGaming. So yeah, here he is, and for considering my channel worthy of mention, because it's a tiny little channel. I'm just pleased to know there are people who are enjoying it. Now, I know there hasn't been anything uploaded to it for ages, and I did mention before that I made the episode and I deleted the episode because I wasn't happy with it, and I've redrafted it. I just haven't gone back and filmed it yet because I haven't really had the time to make one of those Gamer's Living Room episodes to film it. I normally need most of the day with the living room free, and those don't come round very often. You might think, well, the video's only 20 minutes long. How can you not make it in an hour? Well, I'm not very good at this, and it takes many, many, many reshoots to get it as good as it is. I know it's not great, but as good as it is takes quite an effort. Now, I'm getting better at this, but it's still taking a long time. So that's why there hasn't been any Gamer's Living Room for a while, but I hope in not next weekend, but the weekend after, I might have some time to do it, because I've got quite a few that are sort of planned, but I haven't got around to making them yet. Anyway, so enough of that. Something else I'd like to talk about is Retro Gamer Magazine. I'm a big fan of the mag, and I planned to do a special 100th episode 100th issue video about it, looking at the 100th issue and also the reprint of the first issue. Just never got round to it. But there was a great article in there, I think it was issue 101. It was all about the BBC Micro, and it's very nice to see a few three familiar faces from the YouTube gaming community getting a mention. It's a great article. And then recently in issue 103, the one that's on the newsstands at the moment, there was a fantastic article by Rhydermike. You might know him from YouTube, because it's been subscribed to my channel since day one, so I've conversed with him a few times in the past, and he's written a couple of great articles, well, maybe more than two, but the only ones I've read were about the Amiga 3D games, which was very cool, very up my street, and also about Superior Software, who make games, or made games for the Acorn. No, they're still around in some form, but they made games for the Acorn Electron and BBC Micro. And in this issue, he did a fantastic feature article on Citadel, my favourite game from the BBC and Electron platforms. It was amazing. I mean, I learned quite a bit about the game from that. I mean, I consider myself a big fan of the game, but I didn't realise how difficult it was for Michael Jacobson or Jacobson, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, how difficult it was for him to make that game, to squeeze it into such a small amount of memory. I think it was once the graphics routines or whatever had been loaded into memory, there was something ridiculous like 10k or something for him to squeeze the game into, and he did a fantastic job to make something that feels that expansive with such a limited amount of memory. Is a stroke of genius, really. I could witter on for hours about Citadel, and I'm not going to, because I've got a couple of other little things to chat about. Now, the next thing I'd like to talk about is a comment that was left by Retro Sofa after my 11th vlog, and because I think I was showing my Sega Master System and I mentioned about the little snail maze game built into it, and we got to swapping comments about Easter eggs, kind of hidden items within, well, not just games, but within the systems, because of course Snail Maze is a kind of Easter egg built into the Sega Master System. It's something you have to put in a special code to then play that game. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if you could have Easter eggs into the current or the next generation of systems? You know, could you imagine the PlayStation 4 or whatever it's going to be called, and the Xbox, whatever name they come up with for that, to have a secret game built into it. Maybe something that people don't discover straight away, and you know, maybe someone stumbles across it a year later and finds that there's this hidden secret game in there. What would you like to see? You know, if you could find something built into your PlayStation 4 or your Xbox, blah de blah, or your Wii U, whatever the next generation system is that you're going to buy, what game would you like to have built into it? I mean, I think PlayStation 4, maybe like some secret Uncharted game, like an Uncharted mini game, or something Metal Gear related would be rather cool, wouldn't it? I suppose likewise if it was Wii, maybe a Mario or a Zelda or a Metroid little game, or even better, Mega Man, a hidden Mega Man game. That would be awesome. Xbox, Gears of War, something. Halo, it would have to be Halo, wouldn't it? It's kind of the mascot. A secret Halo game. But yes, something like that would be awesome. But what do you think? So let me know. Okay, on to what will be the last thing for this section, and that is about the Access TV little competition entry that I uploaded a few days ago now. You've probably already seen it if you're subscribed to my channel. There's just a little minute video, and well, if you haven't seen it, I'll put a link to it here. You can go and check that out, maybe not now, maybe afterwards, I don't know. But that I really enjoyed making. Really, it surprised me how much I enjoyed making it. And firstly, I've got to thank Interghost, because if he hadn't have uploaded his own competition entry, I'm pretty sure there's no way that I would have known about it. And also, actually, let me take this chance just to mention that Interghost has got a new channel. If you don't know who Interghost is, well, check him out. His name is spelt like this, and also there's a link down below. But he's got a new channel now called Interghost House. His previous channel was getting trolled, videos were getting flagged, and so he set up a new channel, and he's uploading some of his old stuff, but mostly creating new videos where he reviews games and talks about gaming stuff, like most of us do. But he's very cool, and it's because of him that I've got to find out about this competition. So I just thought I'd talk a little bit about it, because as I said, I had a lot of fun making this video. Alright, it's not fantastic. I'm not going to say that I created a masterpiece, but the process of kind of drafting out what I was going to say, filming, redrafting, refilming, till I came up with that was a really satisfying process, because I had a great idea of what I wanted to say, but it was about 1 minute 50, where I'd started off talking about you know, all these things I could tell you about myself, but they would just end up making me sound like a sycophantic fanboy. So I don't want to tell you about those things. I want to tell you about all of the things that I'm going to do at E3, and the people I'm going to interview. And so what I ended up with was a kind of cut down version of that in a way. But it was, I think one of the things I really enjoyed about it is because I managed to get my fiance roped in on it as well, because I needed someone to throw me the PlayStation and throw me the microphone, and she just kind of helped me throughout all of it, helping me a little bit with what I was going to say, criticising me when I sounded too much like a douchebag or a snob or a bit smug. So thank you very much for that, Emma. It was a cool day, and hopefully I'll be able to rope her into stuff in the future. And it was nice for her to see how much I enjoy making these videos, because although she knows that I make them, she'd never really taken too much interest in them before. So if she does see this, which I don't think she will, but thank you. And the competition went really well. I didn't win, or you would see me jumping up and down getting really excited. Well, you would have seen that right at the beginning of this video if that had been the case. But the winner was totally deserved. As soon as my fiance and I saw her video, we were like, yeah, that's good. That's good. She's definitely got the presenter, like, I don't know what you call it, like MTV style presenter She's very bubbly, very lively, funny, and if only I'd actually watched the Access TV show before I made the entry. No, actually, I wouldn't have made mine differently because it would have been kind of dishonest to pretend to be someone I'm not. But I think what they were looking for was someone much more lively than me. So, but yes, Mel, who won, fantastic job, and some of the other guys who entered were unbelievable. And one of the great things about doing this was I got to see the other people involved in it and watch their work and find a couple of new channels that I wanted to watch. There's a couple of guys in Scotland, and one of the guys from a show released his little promo video, and it was very cool. The guy's so confident in front of the camera, and all of the graphics that he'd added to it as well, like the motion graphics, was unbelievable. I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't win, but I guess that wasn't the style they were looking for. But I found his channel after that. He's got a channel called BitSocket. If you guys haven't seen this, it's really good. Fantastic video game reviews and news. And it just made me think that there's so much out there, so much content, even within the gaming community, that I've never even seen. Like this week I found Ninja Bear Hug. I mean, obviously, I say obviously, but I guess you guys all know who he is. I'd never even heard of his stuff. I'd never heard of him, never seen his stuff before a couple of days ago. Fantastic. Had to subscribe to him straight away. He's very, very cool. But yeah, so I'm going to stop waffling now. But one thing I did want to show you was a couple of people, in fact, I'd like to thank everybody who left really nice supportive comments on that Access TV competition entry video of mine. A lot of people saying they enjoyed it and hope you win and fingers crossed and all that sort of stuff. And a few people commented on, oh wow, that was, a lot of flair when, or panache, I think someone said, catching the PlayStation and catching the microphone. And actually, in a couple of takes, it was actually a lot better. But because I had to fit everything into 1 minute, so many takes I made ended up 1 minute and 10 seconds or 1 minute and 15 seconds, and I couldn't use them. And I didn't want to have lots of jump cuts. So I just had to go with whichever one fit within that little time frame. But I just thought I'd show you it wasn't as easy as it looked. I mean, sure, I caught the PlayStation a lot of times. I waited in line to get my hands on I could get a PlayStation on launch day, and I've been hooked ever since, because that's easy. But it didn't always work. I was waiting in line so I could get the microphone was a little bit trickier, but still I managed to do all right most of the time. Well, I want to be your man on the ground at E3, but then not every time. So what can I give you? Well, what can I give you? Well, God damn it! So it was really enjoyable. I had a lot of fun making that, and thank you guys for watching. So I'm going to leave it there for now, because I'm well aware that this has dragged on far too long as it is already. But there's going to be another video coming up soon, or probably by the time you're watching this, it's already up. And that's going to include my pickups and games I've been playing recently. So thank you very much for watching from my spare room to wherever you are. This is Simon signing off. Bye bye.